Well, now to a story we were just talking about, concerns online, a lot of them about overcrowding and long lines and wait times to get on public transit following the first show at Rogers Stadium. Stray Kids played the first show at the stadium in Downview, which can hold more than 50,000 people. Some say it didn't go so well. Plenty of posts on social media show lengthy queues of people waiting to get out of the venue after the show. There are also complaints about the lack of shade and access to water. So for more on this, I want to bring in Councillor James Pasternak now. He represents York Centre, where Rogers Stadium is located. Councillor, good to see you, and thanks so much for joining us today.
You're very welcome, Lena.
Look, a lot of people are talking about this both online and offline. People are really tweeting about the crowd control problems. Some allege people were fainting in the crowd. I want to bring up one particular tweet from a resident who says you're going to have to fix this issue before the Coldplay concerts, especially since it's forecasted to be warmer. The exit strategy is atrocious. People got sick and fainted. Another person says there are no bathrooms inside this venue. So people are describing a lot of chaos. I want to get your thoughts on this.
Well, there's no doubt that on the positive side, we moved 50,000 people in and out of the venue fairly safely with the support of TTC and GO Transit. At the same time, there is some work to do. My office also has received some concerns about crowd management and traffic flow and accessible parking. And we're going to be meeting with Live Nation and Northcrest on Wednesday to debrief and fix these issues.
So what is the strategy? How do you try to fix this issue moving forward?
Well, one thing is we're very dependent. It's a transit-oriented venue. So we're very dependent on TTC and GO Transit pulling their weight in this venture. We have been assured that they will provide the volume of trains and buses that are needed to move people in and out, and we hope they reach those goals. At the same time, this is the first performance at this venue, so there is a bit of a learning curve. I have toured the facility. There seem to be a lot of washrooms. But the other thing is there's a lot of screening of people going in because, sadly, because of the sign of the times, security is paramount.
I know that you say that a lot of these issues have to do with local transit, but I want to talk about where the city may be involved. Some are alleging that there are no bathrooms inside this venue. The only porta potty was a 15-minute walk. One Twitter user says that this is nuts and unacceptable. There's another resident who says there are only 2 water refill stations in the entire venue, and obviously we're looking at summer months. How do you respond to that, and is there anything the city can do immediately to address that?
Well, there's no doubt that we control some of the regulatory infrastructure there. We can insist on closer and more porta potties or washrooms. When it comes to water in a hot outdoor stadium environment, we have to make sure that people can stay hydrated and can get easy access to water. That is another thing that we can address fairly easily. But yeah, I mean, there's some fixing to do with this, as it was the first show, and there's some work to do. And we'll be working with Live Nation and with the property owner and adjacent property owners to make sure that these problems are addressed and things go smoothly in the future.
I think a lot of people are also wondering how something like this was given the green light without proper planning. Do you feel as if the process was rushed, or do you have any regrets about how this was carried out?
Well, the whole program was really in the private sector. It was done by private sector partners,
right,
private sector property owners, and promotional companies. And we were brought into it. I was brought into it probably about 3 weeks before the announcement. So it is incumbent on all levels of government to make sure that this venue is safe and accessible, that you can move large amounts of crowds in and out safely. If anyone is not pulling their weight on this, then obviously we have to take a sober second look at how to make it safer. But all levels of government were aware of this and knew about this, and were involved in the discussions to make it safe and operational.
And have you talked to Mayor Chow about this? Like, I wonder how seriously the city is taking this.
Well, I haven't spoke to her this morning, and the event was last night. So clearly, if her office wants to get involved in the debrief on Wednesday, that is something that I think is very important. I think the mayor's office has an important role to play when you're talking about mass events and venues of this nature. This provides a lot of value to the city and entertainment to the city. It supports our cultural industry, but it must be safe. It must be operational, and we want those who paid a lot of money for tickets to go away with a good experience. And if accessing water and washrooms was difficult, and getting out of the venue and onto transit, we have to fix that.
Okay. Councillor James Pasternak, we so appreciate your time. Obviously, you know and you understand how important it is to protect 50,000 concert goers. So we appreciate you taking this seriously and talking to us.
No, you're very welcome.